Chukat, Numbers chapter 19. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring thee a red cow without blemish, wherein is no spot, upon the which never came a yoke. And ye shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may put her without the host, and cause her to be slain before his face. Then shall Eleazar the priest take of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle it before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times, and cause the cow to be burnt in his sight, with her skin and her flesh, and her blood, and her dung shall he burn her. Then shall the priest take cedar wood, and hyssop, and scarlet lace, and cast them in the midst of the fire where the cow burneth. Then shall the priest wash his clothes, and he shall wash his flesh in water, and then come into the host, and the priest shall be unclean unto the even. Also he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and wash his flesh in water, and be unclean until even. And a man that is clean shall take up the ashes of the cow, and put them without the host in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for a sprinkling water. It is a sin offering. Therefore he that gathereth the ashes of the cow shall wash his clothes, and remain unclean until even. And it shall be unto the children of Israel, and unto the stranger that dwelleth among them, a statute forever. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean even 7 days. He shall purify himself therewith the 3rd day, and the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever toucheth the corpse of any man that is dead, and purgeth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and that person shall be cut off from Israel, because the sprinkling water was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean, and his uncleanness shall remain still upon him. This is the law. When a man dieth in a tent, all that come into the tent, and all that is in the tent, shall be unclean 7 days. And all the vessels that be open, which have no covering fastened upon them, shall be unclean. Also whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the field, or a dead person, or a bone of a dead man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. Therefore, for an unclean person, they shall take of the burnt ashes of the sin offering, and pure water shall be put thereto in a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop, and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were therein, and upon him that toucheth the bone, or the slain, or the dead, or the grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean the 3rd day, and the 7th day he shall purify himself the 7th day, and wash his clothes, and wash himself in water, and shall be clean at even. But the man that is unclean, and purifieth not himself, that person shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he hath defiled the sanctuary of the Lord, and the sprinkling water hath not been sprinkled upon him. Therefore he shall be unclean. And it shall be a perpetual law unto them, that he that sprinkleth the sprinkling water shall wash his clothes. Also he that toucheth the sprinkling water shall be unclean until even. And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean, and the person that toucheth him shall be unclean until the even. Numbers chapter 20. Then the children of Israel came with the whole congregation to the desert of Zin in the 1st month, and the people abode at Kadesh, where Miriam died and was buried there. But there was no water for the congregation, and they assembled themselves against Moses and against Aaron. And the people chode with Moses, and spake, saying, Would God we had perished with our brethren, dying before the Lord. Why have ye thus brought the congregation of the Lord into this wilderness, that both we and our cattle should die there. Wherefore now have ye made us to come up from Egypt, to bring us into this miserable place, which is no place of seed, nor figs, nor vines, nor pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink. Then Moses and Aaron went from the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod, and gather thou and thy brother Aaron the congregation together, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and the beasts drink. Then Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he had commanded him, and Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And Moses said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, shall we bring you water out of this rock? Then Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly. So the congregation and their beasts drank. Again the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, Because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the presence of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. Then Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom, saying, Thus saith thy brother Israel, Thou knowest all the travail that we have had, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we dwelt in Egypt a long time, where the Egyptians handled us evil, and our fathers. But when we cried out unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us out of Egypt. And behold, we are in the city of Kadesh, in thine utmost border. I pray thee that we may pass through thy country. We will not go through the fields, nor the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway, and neither turn to the right hand nor to the left, until we be past thy borders. And Edom answered him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. Then the children of Israel said unto him, We will go up by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, I will then pay for it. I will only, without any harm, go through with my feet. He answered again, Thou shalt not go through. Then Edom came out against him with much people and a mighty power. Thus Edom denied to give Israel passage through his country, wherefore Israel turned away from him. And when the children of Israel with all the congregation departed from Kadesh, they came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron in the Mount Hor, near the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I gave unto the children of Israel, because ye disobeyed my commandment at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up into the Mount Hor, and cause Aaron to put off his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son, for Aaron shall be gathered to his fathers, and shall die there. And Moses did as the Lord had commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses put off Aaron's clothes, and put them upon Eleazar his son. So Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from off the mount. When all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, all the house of Israel wept for Aaron 30 days. Numbers chapter 21. When King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt toward the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then fought he against Israel and took them prisoners. So Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, If thou wilt deliver and give this people into mine hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord heard the voice of Israel, and delivered them, the Canaanites. And they utterly destroyed them and their cities, and called the name of the place Hormah, after they departed from the Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea, to compass the land of Edom. And the people were sore grieved because of the way. The people spake against God and against Moses, saying, Wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt, to die in the wilderness? For here is neither bread nor water, and our soul loatheth this white bread. Wherefore the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, which stung the people, so that many of the people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses, and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray to the Lord, that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it up for a sign, that as many as are bitten may look upon it and live. So Moses made a serpent of brass, and set it up for a sign. And when a serpent had bitten a man, then he looked to the serpent of brass, and lived. And the children of Israel departed thence, and pitched in Oboth. And they departed from Oboth, and pitched in Ish-Abarim, in the wilderness, which is before Moab, on the east side. They removed thence, and pitched upon the river Zared. Thence they departed, and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness, and cometh out of the coasts of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between the Moabites and the Amorites. Wherefore it shall be spoken in the book of the battles of the Lord, what thing he did in the Red Sea, and in the rivers of Arnon, and at the stream of the rivers that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they turned to Beer, and the same is the well, where the Lord said unto Moses, Assemble the people, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, Rise up, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes dug this well, the captains of the people dug it, even the lawgiver with their staves. And from the wilderness they came to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley, that is the plain of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, that looked toward Jeshimon. Then Israel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, Let me go through thy land. We will not turn aside into the fields, nor into the vineyards, neither drink of the waters of thy wells. We will go by the king's way, until we be past thy country. But Sihon gave Israel no license to pass through his country. But Sihon assembled all his people, and went out against Israel into the wilderness. And he came to Jahaz, and fought against Israel. But Israel smote him with the edge of the sword, and conquered his land, from Arnon unto Jabbok, even unto the children of Ammon, where the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, which had fought beforetime against the king of the Moabites, and had taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. Wherefore they that speak in Proverbs say, Come to Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and repaired. For a fire is gone out of Heshbon, and a flame from the city of Sihon, and hath consumed Ar of the Moabites, and the lords of Bamoth and Arnon. Woe be to thee, Moab, O people of Chemosh, thou art undone. He hath suffered his sons to be pursued, and his daughters to be in captivity to Sihon, the king of the Amorites. Their empire also is lost from Heshbon to Dibon, and we have destroyed them unto Nophah, which reacheth unto Medeba. Thus Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorites. And Moses sent to search out Jazer, and they took the towns belonging thereto, and rooted out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up toward Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against them, he and all his people, to fight at Edrei. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Fear him not, for I have delivered him into thine hand, and all his people, and his land. And thou shalt do to him as thou didst unto Sihon king of the Amorites, which dwell at Heshbon. They smote him therefore, and his sons, and all his people, until there was none left of him. So they conquered his land. Numbers chapter 22. After the children of Israel departed and pitched in the plain of Moab, on the other side of Jordan from Jericho.